Afternoon, how's it going? Thought I'd step outside today and while I'm on break at work, record today's video. And today, a couple things that I think are worth discussing. First off is I want to talk about keeping your word, because this is something that I've realized to me is becoming more and more important in my life. Is, if you lose your word, if you can't trust your word, then you've got nothing. You've got nothing in life. Because not only will people not be able to trust you, you won't be able to trust yourself. So keeping your word, doing something that you say you're going to do, is, in my opinion, actually a matter of life and death. You need to treat it like a matter of life and death. If you say you are going to do something, you do it. No questions, no negotiations. Like either you make it happen or you die trying. I genuinely think it's that serious. Just my personal opinion. But, like for example, I said yesterday, I'm going to become the king of self-improvement. And I mean that. And that's my word. So tough luck for me. I got to stick to that and I got to make it happen, or I have to die trying. One or the other. That is, in my opinion, the kind of conviction you have to have when it comes to keeping your word. I genuinely am at the point where I've been telling myself, like, you should actually, if you don't keep your word, like, that should be akin to, you might as well, gouge your eyes out with a spoon and give them to someone. Like, this is how important it is. It's everything. Doing what you say you're going to do, keeping promises to yourself and keeping promises to other people is, it's absolutely, I can't understate how important it is. That's what I've come to realize. I don't think I can actually understate just how important it is. Yeah. Like, if you say you're going to do something, man, like, your word is your life. Your word is your life. Because if you don't live like that, then all of your words they lose power. Any promise you make to yourself is going to be meaningless because you're not going to keep it. And other people know you're not going to keep it. So that's huge. That's huge. I also I listened to a great podcast today with Chris Williamson and George Mack, and they were talking about becoming a high agency person, which is it's a really interesting topic, and I'm going to do my best to become a high agency person as well, because basically the short definition of it is, it's somebody, a high agency person is somebody who happens to life. They don't let life happen to them. That's the best way to describe it. It's the person that if you woke up in the middle of a third world country in a jail cell and you just had a cell phone and you had one call, a high agency person is the person that you call. They're that ultimate problem solver. And they talked about, they talked about a lot of great stuff. What makes a high agency person, like bias towards action, because, and this is something I'm working on as well. I'm working really hard on this, and hopefully I'll get better at it, is, like reading books and watching, reading books, listening to podcasts, like listening to audiobooks, watching videos. Yeah, it can help you gain some knowledge and it can help make a difference, but it's meaningless if you don't apply the things you learn and actually go out and get shit done and do the thing. That's what Chris Williamson always talks about, is do the thing, Talking about the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading about the thing isn't doing the thing. Listening to podcasts about the thing isn't doing the thing. The only thing that's doing the thing is doing the thing. So your actions speak about 100 times louder than your words. Live authentically through your actions, and the words will follow. Also, I'm trying to think of other things that I've learned today that I can talk about. Those are the big one that I wanted to talk about, is keeping your word. That's today's big lesson for sure, is, you got to be able to stake your life on your words. You got to be able to stake your life on what you say. On, if you say that you're going to do something, you follow through and you make sure it fucking gets done. If you say, I'm gonna spend an hour cleaning my room today, like, you have to stake your life on those words. You make that happen no matter what. Like, a fucking asteroid could come down and hit the planet. Like, that's the only way. That's the only thing that's stopping you. That's what it has to be. That's what it has to be. That's the type of conviction you need. What else? I'm trying to think. There's definitely some other stuff that I've learned today. What have I took 5 minutes today and I just took my headphones out. Like, it was admittedly it was when I was supposed to be working, but I needed to take a breather, so I just went into the bathroom and closed the stall and I just sat down. I took my headphones out. I put a 5-minute timer on my phone. I put it away and I just sat there in silence. Pretty akin to meditation. I think you're supposed to have your eyes closed with meditation. I was intermittently had them closed and then opened them. Just, taking deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. That can be a great thing to do. If you need to, take a minute, I might actually do it again before my break time ends, before I go tackle the rest of my work day. But, I definitely recommend everybody try that, because it really helps you organize your thoughts. Think about what you're going to say, or, let any panic thoughts kind of pass by. and calm you down and give you a little bit of energy again, take a mental reset. So that's a really nice thing to do. Also, they talked in the podcast about specificity, which is another great topic because vagueness is a trap. And this is something that I admittedly have to work really hard on, is setting hyper-specific goals, targets. Specificity is scary because when you set a specific criteria for success, the scary thing is you also in the same breath are setting a criteria for failure. And failure is scary. There's no way around it. Even having experienced as much failure as I have in my life, it still scares me. And it still hurts when it happens. There's no way around it. They also talked about being a disagreeable person. Being willing to be a disagreeable person is big. And they talked about, here's a great exercise, is pick somebody that you really admire and name some stuff that you disagree with them about. Like, for example, for me, like I love Chris Williamson's podcasts, and I listen to him all the time, and I look up to him as a positive male role model. But there's stuff that he says that I listen to and I say, yeah, I don't agree with that. Like, for example, one of the main things is I'm pretty sure he's an atheist, and I definitely believe in a God. So I don't agree with him on that. I think he might be I don't know. I guess I don't know if I could say that, because if I can't communicate the thought tangibly into words, then it's probably not a valid thought. Or I just need to work on my communication skills. But that's something I might think on in the coming days, is start thinking about people I admire and things that I don't always agree with them on. But being a disagreeable person. I'm reading right now, George Mack has an essay on his website. I think it's called High Agency. It's called highagency.com. That's the name of the website. But he talks about, it's like a 30-minute read about what it means to be a high agency person. And I'm a little bit into it, but he talks about the foundations. You have to be a disagreeable person. You have to be there's a bunch of shit. I guess I haven't internalized it yet because I couldn't tell you all the details about it. So that's something I'm working on. But another goal for me to strive towards is to become, actually, you know what? No, that's a bad way to put it. I think in my life, I will end up becoming a high agency person. And there you go. I said it. So I've staked my life on it. I'm going to make it happen, or I'm going to die trying. One or the other. We'll see which one comes first. But over the past while, I've slowly but surely become more comfortable with the idea that I'd rather live under a bridge. I'd rather die trying, pursuing my purpose and pursuing something more meaningful than surrendering to a low agency conforming life with what people want out of me. I've kind of decided fuck what people want out of me, because I'm gonna get what I want out of me. And I think that's a good place to end on today. If you're still watching, thank you very much. I appreciate you watching the end of this video, and I hope to see you back here again for the next video tomorrow. Obviously, daily podcast episode will also be coming out later today. Those are guaranteed. Substack, everything. We're gonna keep going. The daily uploads, the daily grind continues, at least for the near future. So thanks very much for watching, and take care. Have a good one.